Hi students, this is Mrs. Wilson. I'm here to further explain how to draw your cube. I want you to look at this paper here. I think that some of you are missing the main thing you need to do, which is making sure all your lines are parallel. So I drew one here, and then I did some hash marks on to show you which lines should be parallel to each other. So number one here, you've got two hash marks there. These three lines should be all horizontal to the paper, okay? And they all should be parallel to each other. And then all three of the vertical lines should also be parallel to each other. And then the three diagonals should also be parallel. So the key word, parallel. When you go to draw the diagonals, oftentimes you'll draw it too long. And what people try to do is match up the long line that they drew at the diagonal with the one that they did here, and that's where it starts to get off. So just know that you're probably going to have to erase that extra part after you draw the line that's parallel. So let me show you again on this piece of paper here. So we in class use a ruler that looks like this, but since you probably don't have a ruler like that at your house, I'm just going to use your standard ruler. And I'll go ahead and draw a 2 by 2 inch square here. And I am, right now, since I don't have the grid to make it perfectly parallel, I'm going to eyeball it as much as I can to make sure that it's parallel. So the easiest way to do that is just kind of move it over and look at it and make sure, and you can see I'm drawing down to the 2 inches there. And then the same thing here, and I'll drag my ruler down and make that parallel. And if you have any extra, just erase it. So the next thing I do is I'll start from my three corners, because I'm going to be looking at the top of my box here. So if I was looking at the underneath part of my box, I would do my diagonals from this side, but we'll just do it like we're looking down on the box. So the first, the one in the corner here, or the middle one, it doesn't matter what the angle is. You're gonna match this angle with, or diagonal with these ones. So the easiest way to do that again is to just take it and line it up with your ruler and try to keep your ruler straight as you're going down to that corner, and make sure that is parallel to that one. And then I'll do the same thing here. Go back to the middle, and I'll move it over as carefully as I can. And I'll draw that parallel here. Okay, so now these three are parallel. So now I need to make the line that's parallel vertically here. So I'm going to line up this one here, and I'm going to move it over to here. And I actually was pretty good. It looks like I have a little tiny bit that I need to erase. And then this one looks like I might have a little bit more that I need to erase. So I'll line that up, come straight up. And you can see that I have quite a bit more that I need to erase there. So that's going to be really important that you do that, okay? So now I'll just go and erase that extra, and now I'm ready to do the shading. So depending on where your light source is coming from, on this one I have the light source coming from the top here. Let's try shading from a different light source so you can get an idea. Let's say the light source is coming from, say, the bottom part of it. So down and up. So that means that this part is going to be the lightest, and we'll probably have either this one's going to be medium. You got to think about how that's coming and hitting. And the darkest, actually the back side would be the darkest, but for now let's just do a light, medium, and dark. So we have a light, and we can say that the medium's probably going to be more of the, well, that's hard to say. You could go either way here. I'm going to go ahead and make this side the darkest side here. Although I think, nah, I'm going to make that the medium side. So let me see. So I'll go, medium isn't super light, but it's not super dark either, obviously. It's about a 50% on the value scale. And you can see how I'm kind of using the side of my pencil instead of the point. It gives it a nice flat look. Looks like I went a little too dark right there, so I'll just erase that a little bit. And then up here, I'll go darker. So I'm going to actually press really dark on here. And I can go back and use my eraser to clean up any of the shading, or actually go back and use the tip now to crisp up the edges. And that's going to make that box look a little bit more realistic. And then the front you can leave either white or you can do a really light shading. But there should definitely be some contrast from the light, medium, and dark. You don't want them to be too similar in shade, otherwise you can't really differentiate where that light source is coming from. All right, so this is a pretty good cube. All right, good luck. Ask me if any questions if you have them.